So today we have with us Dr. Priyanka Das, who is a consultant gynecologist and infertility specialist from Altius Hospital, Bangalore. Dr. Priyanka, welcome to National Dynamic Medical Student Summit, and we are very happy and the pleasure as us to have you today.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sajjan, to calling me in this beautiful program you have started to encourage all our new MBBS students.
Mhm.
So I'm very glad.
Great, wonderful to have you, Dr. Priyanka. So, just to give an insight, what we're going to discuss today and the intention of the program, mainly the program is to empower the medical students on what career choice they can make. As you know, during our MBBS days, we don't get to see the most practicality of each specialty. So, at least by discussing with you, for example, the obstetrics and gynecology, so they get to know what's the life of an obstetrics and gynecologist is, and would they want to choose this career as their option, right? So with that, I think the first question we'd like to ask is, why did you make the choice of being an OBG consultant? Was it your first choice, or what inspired you, and what was the inclination towards that?
Well, to be honest, OBG was never my first choice. So I always wanted to take up surgery because
Mhm.
I remember my professors, head of the department in the surgery department. If you remember Dr. Ashok Shetty sir, Devadas Shetty sir, whenever they used to do surgery, when they come out of the surgery with that satisfaction, they did some big surgery. Even an amputation would make me so excited about it. But then, uh, as I was confused at the end of internship, what do I like? Then I asked few professors and everyone. I discussed with them. They told me, "How about you work in the department and see what you like?"
Mhm.
So that's how I decided to go ahead with an interview to work as a JR ship. In the interview, they asked me, the first question was, "So what do you want to become?" I said, "I want to take up surgical field." I meant as completely as a surgeon, but they thought, "Oh, as a lady, you should be a OBG because you would do good. That it has surgical field as well." So then they asked me all the questions, and I answered all OBG questions, and then I was hired for as a OBG junior resident.
Mhm.
Now, working in the OBG department did make me feel very excited about the subject, because the need for every woman, how they need every second, each and every field of their life, this important pregnancy time, or during this gynec, because so that need, how much we need to serve this country. So this, I thought this field would be really good if you think about community service also. So that really inspired me to take up this subject. So now today here I am.
Got it. Right. That's wonderful. So now, no, you're being having experience as an OBG consultant for these years. What has been the pros of taking this particular specialty for
If you tell pros, then I would like to say this subject is always on high on demand.
you?
It's really demanding subject. Even if you say in rural service or in the corporate life, even in the government jobs, they need one gynecologist everywhere, in every part, every corner. They need a gynecologist. So it's a demanding subject. So that's one
Mhm.
advantage. Second thing, as I said, there are many topics which is still a taboo. Even though they
Mhm.
say it's a modern India, there are still so many taboos that is there that we need to discuss. So we as a gynecologist can bring some change. Let it be puberty talks, menstrual talks, all the abuse that is happening, the physical abuse to the young girls. So I think we can bring a difference if we take it seriously.
Mhm.
So, and the third thing would be my male gynecologist would get offended. But being a lady gynecologist, the majority do prefer, to
Mhm.
have a lady doctor with whom they can share, they feel comfortable. So
Mhm.
that is one advantage. Second thing, that you see, you can build. What does a patient want? A patient wants is a good doctor patient relationship, you know, so that they can trust you. So this trust, in my field, I feel if a patient comes pregnant, if I know her history, everything, 9 months she feels comfortable. She can trust me with that. That yeah,
Mhm.
I can be with her. She knows about my history, everything. So we can build that long-term doctor-patient relationship. And last and not the least, the happy thing is that the happy factor that we have. No one wants to get admitted in OBG until unless there's some happy reason, like they want to get admitted for the delivery. So
Mhm.
that happy factor makes it very exciting. So these are the
Wow.
pros, if you want to put it.
Got it. That's wonderful. Right. So now, with that, what are the cons of being an OBG consultant?
See, cons, if you talk about, I don't think it's cons absolutely related to OBG. This is with
Okay.
doctor field, I think, not
Got
just particularly with OBG. There are no weekends off. See, you're working, I'm working. It's a Sunday,
it.
and
Okay.
then otherwise no holidays as such you can't, and you have to have a family who's always adjusted family life.
Mhm.
So these are the cons every doctor has in their life.
Exactly. Got it. Okay. So now, if you look into, we looked into the pros and the cons, right? So now, for whom, for which, which student would you suggest this particular specialty to take
Anyone who wants to take any subject,
up? Hmm.
they should have that passion for that subject, not
Hmm.
just regarding like who this we can't categorize people like
Hmm.
every field you have to do equal amount of hard work to become something. So I feel if you're passionate about that subject where you want to, till date I would like to read about the first chapter which I have a doubt on, that I would like to read about that, do more research about it so that I can enlighten everyone, my patients or my students, anyone. So you should have that passion to drive. I want to read this subject even after 10 years down the lane. I think then those people should choose that subject. So it's not like particular category that these people should take or those people should take. I think it's the love towards the subject that makes you, go ahead with this subject.
Got it. So basically, the core thing is passion, the love towards the subject,
Passion.
and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would drive them for long
The
way.
passion drives you to work, even on the days when you're low. You can't
Hmm.
be always elated, always happy. You can't be that. So even the days you're low, it's the passion that makes you like, no, I need to do it. So that's what you should have, I feel.
Right. So now, looking into the future options, like once you finish your no OBG, then what are the super specialization opportunities available after completing the course?
Yeah, and now we have broke down into many super specialization.
Hmm.
So first thing, as you know, it's a infertility and gynae endoscopy, laparoscopic surgeries are
Hmm.
available, and there is something MCH on oncology. There
Hmm.
is a urogynecology. So in oncology, we'll do the cancer of only the pelvic
Hmm.
organs, and the urogynecology to deal with prolapse, any urine problem related, any so all those comes under urogynecology. Then we have something coming up these days is fetal medicine.
Hmm.
So the fetal medicine you would do every scans, all the anomaly scans, all the growth scans, dating scans, everything is done by the fetal medicine specialist. So we have now many subspecialty under it. It's really upcoming.
Got it. And you yourself are an infertility specialist and also currently
Yeah,
working
yeah.
on the gynecology endoscopy. So could you just
Yeah.
throw light on why do you choose that and what's it all about?
See, right now, before conception would be a natural process.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody gave a thought on, there would be some problem in conceiving. You
Mm-hmm.
make the couple get married and then they conceive. It's a natural phenomena. Everybody knew. No one knew that conception would be a trouble. Nowadays, with all the development we are having, everybody wants to study, so they tend to get married late. So all those factors somewhere, and the stress, the multifactorial effects, everything is happening together. So
Mm-hmm.
it is affecting the fertility of a couple.
Okay.
So many of my friends, for whom it was so difficult to conceive. So that made me think that why it is so difficult to conceive. So that kind of gave me a trigger to let's just go into this. So now when I see such young girls, were back when we were studying, the incidence of the diseases, few diseases like a fibroid or endometriosis would have a typical category from like this age to this age. Now
Yeah.
everything is changing these days. It's all advancing. Like even a 30 years old can have a complex hyperplasia, which is, and a good built, a fit person can have a complex hyperplasia, and that leads to abnormal uterine bleeding. So these were some incidences which we never saw, we never read in the books. We are experiencing them. So this all inspired me to take up with infertility and laparoscopy these days. I think everyone who is taking up gynecology must learn endoscopic surgeries, because nobody wants a big scar on them, and everybody wants early discharge, less scarring, quite comfort after the surgery. So we can't prevent the diseases because of the all environmental factors and the lifestyle changes we are having, but at least we can opt for better surgical skills to help them with better recovery.
Wow. Yeah.
So that was the reason I chose endoscopy.
That's great. That's a wonderful contribution. You upskilling yourself so that the society could be get best use of that particular skill. Got it.
Yeah.
So now looking into the opportunities after MS OBG. So what are the opportunities for the job in India?
India, I think we have many gynecologists at present, but we still need more for Indian population, because the rural sector needs many facilities for a gynecologist. Okay, and the opportunities for us is really good. Even if you have a small clinic anywhere in the corner of the city, also people would look for a lady doctor. They do feel comfortable for their family, for their wife, for their daughter. They need, so opportunities are really good. Even if you talk about corporate with all your research studies, all the higher studies you are doing, your corporate facilities are also good. Nowadays, seventh pay commission has come, so the government jobs are also coming up really good. So in ESI or anywhere, you have good opportunities if you start practicing gynecology. You can be independent, you can be working everywhere. And what I suggest everyone is that after passing out this OBG, you should have 1 year of SR-ship and work under medical college to find out how the work protocol goes. So you can be a professor, you can run a medical college, be academics as well as practice, or else you can start your private practice directly, setting up your own clinic or associated with any corporate hospitals. So there are facilities wise, opportunity wise, a lot is there in this field.
Got that. And what are the opportunities in abroad?
Many exams are coming up nowadays, MRCOG.
Yeah.
So though if anybody wants to take up OBG, even after internship also, so they need to work 1 year or 6 months of residency under OBG department, and then they can go ahead with exams like MRCOG under RCOG college. So there, that's where they can go ahead and give their exams. It has three parts: part one, part two, part three. Once they clear that, they can start practicing in UK also. Even nowadays, even after part one, you can go join, start working under someone as an observership, and then depending on the work, there you can finish your exams and start being consultant there.
Okay, so
Also, the other universities, Oxford universities, Cambridge universities, they have many specialities under infertility or embryology, which you can try for it. And so many fields are there.
Right. So the lot of opportunities just opening up also in abroad
Opening
for
up
not only
everywhere.
jobs and also for the super specialities and the
Super
different
specialties as well.
specializations in
Yeah.
those areas. Got it. So now I think one of the interesting area which you want to touch upon is the what is the financial income or the income what no OBG specialist couldn't expect as soon as they complete their specialty.
Uh, as soon as they pass out being a
Yeah.
Miss OBG,
Mm-hmm.
the they shouldn't focus on earning money. They should focus on
Mhm.
earning the experience.
Okay.
Once you have that experience,
Mhm.
then money is good.
Yeah, could you just
So
throw some lights on the numbers, some range of
uh,
numbers, what you could expect in different? I know it's in different domains,
okay,
different ways, but yeah.
you want the numbers, like how much
Yes,
would you be earning
yes,
after passing
yes.
out? Okay, so it again, I would say it is like depending on what you want to become. Okay, like
Mm-hmm.
you want to work in medical college, or you want to work in a private practice to see how the private practice is going on, or how to go ahead with being a professor and assistant professor, all that. So if you join in as a SR-ship, so that depends on college and the state government how they are paying. So range
Yeah,
would be around 65 to 70. They would be
yeah.
starting with that.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're joining as a registrar in any corporate colleges, so there the range would be around your 1,890
Mm-hmm.
to 1. They would be
Yeah.
starting like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, and of course, there is if you are confident and if you're in a setup where you can start, you have a support where you can start off, or it's any day better to start early. So
Mm-hmm.
just start your own practice, start up your own practices. So when you're attached to some medical college or some other hospital and you start your own practice, it gives you confidence. It helps you bringing on more patients early, and so it's time to fly. That's
Got it. Right. So now I think one of the the view which we have about OBG is like it's a very busy specialty and it takes a lot of
all. Yeah,
day and night is where you get
time.
calls.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
how do you see the work-life balance being an obstetrician?
Work-life balance, that I would say it weighs on your priorities. You
Mm-hmm.
have to prioritize what you
Mm-hmm.
want. See, you can't be you can't be 100% in every field at the same time. That's what I have heard. And whenever I go through anything, so they say you can't be 100% good in everything at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to, so you need to prioritize. Sometimes you have to be a mother, you have to be a doctor, so you need to prioritize what you need to be for that time. So yeah, with a good family support and help from everyone, you need to plan your life, what you want to do when, and that's how you can balance your work and life.
Yeah. So basically, the planning and prioritization is where
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
stand in any specialty
yeah.
that you can
Any
have
specialty.
work-life balance. Got it, right? So now looking into
Yeah.
OBG in the next 5 to 10 years, what do you see the scope and the growth of how that grow as a specialty?
As I said, it's a very demanding profession.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter how much ever is the competition, whatever it is, we still need more and more doctors.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, what do I say? Still so much more is yet to be found. So much more is to be done. So I think there's a lot to still figure out, and we have a good, still more to give to our patients. So we need to do more research. We as a newcomers, I think we need to do more hard work, more research, so that we can help in our future, so that we can build even better future.
Got it. So that's a very optimistic view about the future, and of course, the research is where the core area to bring new innovations into the world. Got that. So now I think we most of it what we discussed is more academic and your practicality life. So now we would like to get into your life and just if you could share something from the days of MBBS and how was your post graduation and from there the career you took on and just give us a sneak peek into your life and so that our students can get an idea on how it has been the journey throughout.
My journey. So all these days, the journey is just beginning right now. This is the beginning. Right now, it's the beginning. So all these days was all the preps was going on. So this is
Hmm.
the beginning. So we are starting to, you know, begin our career right now. All these days were just, what do you say, preparing ourselves for the sky. Now it's time to take this thing a stroke and just start flying. So
Got it. Hmm.
So, MBBS time, I never decided on OBG. I remember our Pradeep sir. You remember Pradeep sir? We had
Mm-hmm.
his notes were the best notes. I'm so grateful for his notes always. These
Mm-hmm.
notes were like awesome. And on the practical class we used to have by Dr. Veena ma'am, all the
Mm-hmm.
ma'ams. So I think the uh, whatever OBG I have learned, it's because of them, I think, I always remember the clinical classes they used to do. I never had to waste time in the books through so much because I had the perfect notes of their OBG. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a good thing when I started my JR ship, junior residentship under OBG. Those notes used to really help me.
Mm-hmm.
So I used to have per day delivery when I was in doing JR ship. Per day deliveries would be like 40-45 deliveries per day,
Per
and
day.
cesareans
Okay.
would be around per day, and cesareans would go around 10 to 12, 15, depending on how long the night is.
Mm-hmm.
So all those nights to come through were these notes and all the experiences from internship which we had.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really nice. Postgraduate was again very distinct, hectic. We used to have duties in government setup, so night duties. So there we used to have every other working under every doctor.
Mm-hmm.
How they manage each case, how they do the leadership in each case. You are the leader, you manage the whole clinical scene over there. So learning that from each and every professor was really great. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what now it's time to, it's like what do you say, you have this you the knowledge which you apply, is becomes the power. So this power which you have got, we need to apply it now.
Great. And where was the JRship and the post graduation?
That I did in Kolkata. That
Mm-hmm.
was in Kolkata Jawaharlal Nehru Medical College.
Mm-hmm.
So
Great, great, wonderful. So now, with that, could you just share what was one of the challenging times of being an OBG consultant?
every day is a challenge, not because the cohort of people which we are dealing weighs in so much of emotional connection with the family. We deal with women,
Mhm.
so let it be a pregnancy, a childbirth, let it be any gynae case, so they weighs in a lot of emotions over there. So I am not saying that complications doesn't come to any other field, but in our field the complications becomes even more emotionally attached. So that makes it very difficult to even to explain the complications to patients. Sometimes they become very emotional.
Yeah.
So that becomes, and the current COVID scenario is making it even more difficult, because everything is challenging. Every move we are learning is also difficult and new for us. We also don't know what are the exact studies. Nothing has been proved anything yet.
Mhm.
So I'll just give you one example. So if we say that this date is good for the delivery, they would be like, no, our astrologer has said that this and this date, even the baby is not term by that time, just like my astrologer has said this date is good, why wouldn't you do it that date? So when you
Mhm.
want to explain it to them, it's very difficult to explain it to them. Most of the people, they don't want to understand.
Yeah.
So these are few challenges we face,
Got you.
because so emotionally attachment is there with the mother of the house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got that. Yeah. So now, with having all these no challenges part of your career, what has been the best part of being an OBG consultant?
Oh, that's my favorite question. Thank you for
Uh-huh.
asking. So, you know what? The mother is pregnant for 9 months. Everyone in the
Mhm.
family is excited, elated about it. Everybody's so, I mean, so happy about it. But the baby, every time they come for scan, I show them the baby, so emotional and happy moment. But you know what? But the first time who gets to hold the baby is me. So that makes me very special. That is a very special moment for me. Even though everybody is waiting for me, it is me who gives the baby to them. And the first time
Okay.
it's me who pulls out the baby and I hold it, and wiping its liquor and making it cry with just a little pat on him. So that
Okay.
makes me very, very happy. So
Wow.
that waking
That's
up all night and monitoring, and for that one cry, that makes me feel very
got it. Got it. That's a that's really inspiring to and that's such a wonderful moment to be in. Great, great.
Yes.
So now I think we are almost at the end of the discussion. So what's your guidance for someone who is inclined towards OBG and who would like to take OBG as a specialty? What's your guidance for them?
Okay, I say every MBBS passed out should take their internship very seriously. Internship is the time where you start applying your whatever you've read for 4.5 years. You start applying it then. You see that you read Pritchard regimen. Every time you read how do you manage, but you see how to apply it, how to do it. When a eclamptic patient comes, you see how to manage the patient. So these are small things which you should grab during your internship. That internship is the time when you know what you want to do next. And if you're confused, I would suggest please work under that department for 6 months or so, something. And then meanwhile, you will know which subject you're interested. Now, if you are taking up OBG, so if OBG is a wonderful subject, as I told you, it is one of the challenging and demanding subject. So if you take up OBG after passing out, work in a medical college for years of experience or something. Once you get that experience, meanwhile, also start your practice and they're good to start.
Great.
Nowadays, many fellowships are coming up,
Mhm.
even the outside country fellowships, so they can definitely discover more about it.
Wonderful. Right. So that's a wonderful the guidance which you gave, and Dr. Priyanka, it's been great interacting with you. We could see the charm which you have, and I could really imagine the radiation which you could the radiating energy which you can bring around for the mothers and in the 9 months of their journey.
Thank you so much.
It's been a wonderful time interacting, and thank you so much for sharing all those things. So I surely I think it would add a lot of value for the students to make an informed decision of what they want to do, right? And as you rightly said, take your passion ahead, and I think and also having that experience of being in the internship. I think that's where you also very strongly suggested. Thank you so much, Dr. Priyanka, for being here today and give your
Thank you
guidance.
so much, Sajan, for giving me this opportunity to speak to them. And also, I want to tell you that you are doing a wonderful job, Dr. Sajan, because I know how much students these days can be so stressed, especially to decide what to do next, what plans to do next. They don't have any guidance. So you helping them out is something really good. Keep it up.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to have you today. Yes. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Isn't this valuable to know the career pathway of a specialist? Hear from experiences of 50 plus consultant doctors from across India. Get an insight into 22 plus medical specialties and make an informed career decision which will shape your future. Join India's first of a kind online medical specialty summit exclusively designed for medical students. Visit our website drsajanacademy.com to know more. Don't miss out on this golden opportunity.